So I've never heard about men getting pregnant. I've never heard about this argument. It must be some part of what you call the far left that is so minuscule that I, who am...
No, Jane.
What?
It's not minuscule, and I'm sorry, you can't throw this back on us. I assume it's because you are locked into media that just never wants anyone in their audience to know anything sketchy about.
Bill Maher just torched Jane Fonda on Club Random, and it was brutal. She came in expecting soft questions and applause. Instead, she walked into a buzzsaw. Maher was locked, loaded, and ready to shred every woke talking point she brought to the table. This wasn't Hollywood make-believe. This was reality checking her hard.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. That is...
No, you know this about California. Come
No,
on.
I don't.
Well,
I'm sorry, I don't.
You've never heard that California is overtaxed and overregulated? That we are a one-party state where there's sort of no checks on that sort of extreme leftism. And that, what do you think?
I don't for a minute consider California a state that is extreme leftist. Not at all, not any way.
Well, that shows where your politics.
Jane Fonda is so deep in the Hollywood bubble, she's basically forgotten what real life looks like. Surrounded by applause, cameras, and echo chambers, she's mistaking movie sets for reality. But Maher, he wasn't clapping along. He grabbed a needle of truth and popped that Hollywood balloon, dragging her right back to earth where real people face real problems.
Became the birthers, they became the Tea Party. There's about a third of this country that's very hard right. Of course they love Trump. When he left office, he had an approval rating of 34%. So he really only had those people. Why is he now like tied? Because the other part of the coalition are people who, they don't really like him that much. They just think the far left has gone so nutty on so many issues.
That's what they're being told.
That's what they...
By people like you.
Because it's true. You think the far left does nothing crazy?
Oh, I'm sure they...
The tension was insane. You could feel it. In one breath, Fonda said Maher exaggerates when he calls the far left crazy. And in the next breath, she admitted they are crazy. That's hypocrisy on live camera. Deny, deflect, then prove your opponent right. Maher caught it. The crowd caught it. And Jane got exposed.
What do you mean when you say far left?
I mean, I could give you a million examples.
Yeah, well, give me one.
Okay, the NAACP.
You think the NAACP is far
left? Could I
left?
finish my sentence?
Yes.
You asked me for an example.
Yeah.
Travel advisory, that's like the State Department does to go to, I'm sure when you went to Vietnam, they were advising you not to. There's a war on.
I didn't talk to them. I don't have no.
I know, but you know a travel advisory.
Yeah.
Today we have them for very dangerous countries.
Yeah.
Don't go to North Korea. Don't go to Iran.
Yeah.
You know where they issued a travel advisory for black people not to go?
Yeah.
Florida. Every day there's stories like that that just makes people roll their eyes and go, are you people nuts? Even if they don't matter that much, I don't think one person listened to this and thought, I can't go to Florida. But they just suggest something to the average person, which I completely understand, which is...
Here's the truth. Woke isn't just an attitude. It's an ideology. It infects culture, politics, entertainment, even free speech. It rewrites facts, cancels logic, and worships feelings as truth. That's not progress, that's control. Maher hinted at it. But let's be blunt, woke culture isn't about justice anymore. It's about power through fear.
Men can get pregnant, that kind of stuff. And I understand that a trans woman can get pregnant. That's different than a man getting pregnant. Insist on blurring that line as if that's some sort of reasonable social cause, as opposed to just being for having full rights, respect, and protection for...
Biology check. Men can't get pregnant. Period. Maher nailed it. The trans movement should be about freedom, dignity, and respect, not rewriting science. The second you force people to abandon reality, you lose allies. Respect doesn't mean silencing everyone else. Dialogue builds bridges. Extremism burns them.
Never heard about men getting pregnant. I've never heard about this argument. It must be some part of what you call the far left that is so minuscule that I, who am...
No, Jane.
What?
It's not minuscule, and I'm sorry, you can't throw this back on us. I assume it's because you are locked into media that just never wants anyone in their audience to know anything sketchy about
Then Jane pulled the classic pivot. 1 second she defends the far left, the next she pretends she's never heard the men can get pregnant line. Really? That's been everywhere. Talk shows, campuses, TikTok. You can't just pretend it doesn't exist. Maher shut her down fast, reminding her it's not fringe anymore. It's mainstream, and she had no comeback.
I mean, I don't know. I read 2 papers, and maybe I don't. I should watch Fox News.
No,
I guess.
I don't watch that. That's too far. But you don't have to. I'm not going to torture myself.
By the end, Jane Fonda was cornered, visibly uncomfortable. She joked that maybe she should watch more Fox News. But that slip said it all. For years, she's been trapped in Hollywood's echo chamber, swimming in applause while the real world moved on. Maher ripped that curtain wide open. For the first time, she saw just how out of touch she really is.
That certainly has been the history of this country, was police who were all too willing to shoot black people. So defund the police, though, was not a good idea. And you know who mostly didn't think it was a good idea was black people, because they want police in their neighborhoods, probably more than we need them in our.
And that's woke culture in a nutshell. Slogans over solutions. Remember, defund the police. Activists screamed it like it was gospel. Fast forward, crime spikes, communities suffer, and suddenly those same neighborhoods beg for more cops. Reality crushed the hashtag. When you chase clout instead of thinking long-term, the people you claim to fight for are the ones who pay the price.
The Republicans tried to catch the Democrats with this, and they put this on, they brought it up in Congress.
Yeah.
And all the Democrats voted against it. The Democratic politicians were not for defunding the police. It's that radical fringe that has captured a lot of the media, academia, some of these cultural institutions that are not liberal anymore by my old school liberalism. The ACLU is all about free speech. They don't really believe in it anymore. They believe, in one of their chief people who is trans said, I will die on this hill of banning this.
May is dead on. The woke left hijacked the Democratic Party. They set the rules, the language, even the boundaries of debate. Moderates stay silent, terrified of being canceled. The few who push back, they get smeared, fired, or worse. This isn't debate anymore. It's obedience. And if Democrats don't take their party back, the woke fringe will drag them straight into political irrelevance.
Voters say U.S. can't repair severe divisions. And they went into the fact that 5 years ago, even during the pandemic and during the George Floyd protests, even then, people thought, well, we are going to get through this. And now they seem to be on the page of, it's not going to happen.
Bill,
what do we do? But did you see the story?
Yeah, and I think what's new about this moment, one of my teachers and friends, Doug Seidman, likes to say this, we aren't divided, we are being divided.
That's right.
By companies for profit, okay? And we have our divisions, we always have.
Here's the kicker, division isn't an accident. The far left feeds on it. Outrage is their weapon. They don't debate, they dictate. Disagree and you're canceled, branded, or erased. That's not inclusion. It's authoritarianism dressed up as virtue. You can't build unity when one side keeps burning bridges.
You, on your phone, you ordered a yoga mat or something. Your algorithm figured out you're a liberal. Then your neighbor looked up a truck, you're a conservative. And from that day forward, you got different information every day and nobody sent a notice. And so now you literally think your neighbor is insane because how could they possibly think this stuff? But if you put your phone next to their phone, you're in different algorithmic universes, and that is brand new. And
on this, Maher and Van Jones are right. We need algorithms to stop trapping us in bubbles. Social media keeps us in comfort zones, feeding only what we already believe. That's not knowledge, that's isolation. Real growth comes from hearing opposing views, even the ones that make you angry. Until that happens, people will keep mistaking comfort for truth. And that's dangerous. So, hit like, drop your thoughts, and subscribe, because this debate isn't over. The woke bubble is popping, and the truth is louder than ever.